Thank you for joining in today. If this is your first time, I would like you to subscribe to the channel and share this video. Today, I'm talking about something that someone said that actually makes sense. It makes sense, but I believe it's worth listening to and sharing what is going on. Let's narrow this now into Nigeria. Let's focus on Nigeria as a country. So Nigeria has it's called Giant of Africa because of the population and because of possibly sometimes the size, but more of the population. So Nigeria, we have three major tribes. We have the Yorubas, we have the Igbos, and we have the Hausas. This video that I'm going to show later in this video is going to kind of focus a little, talk about the northern part, which is the Hausas, and the Yorubas are the southwest, and the Igbos in the east, in the southeast. Or in the east, he's saying some things that possibly it applies to a lot of African countries also. Africa is full of cultures and languages, and Nigeria is not an exception of that. Nigeria has, like I said, three major, major size ethnic group. But Africa, Nigeria has six geopolitical zones. So we say we have the north, the central, the southwest, the southeast, the west, the south, and all that. The general language that everyone adopted is English. Now, this is the dilemma that Nigeria has been facing for a long time. Because each area, of course, in Nigeria, we have over 250 dialects, languages, dialect, 250 in one country. So now you can kind of see, the challenges that most African country has, Nigeria for one thing, that when we all sit on the table trying to discuss things, we have people with different languages and different area of interest and different values of priority. We all have to come together and discuss things and come out with a solution. Sometimes, we can see the result is pretty hard, to do that. But that is why, it seems like that. Likewise, most African countries, they all go through the same thing, the same situation. My tribe, tribalism, and value, in this, you value in that, you priority in this, and priority in that. That is the situation. So this video that I'm going to show, it's an Hausa guy, which is from the northern part of Nigeria, and he's talking about his own people, and he's talking about the situation that he found. But this guy lives in United States now, which is kind of, he lives in the United States. So his perspective of how to change things around seems very interesting. If we as people is not trying to empower ourselves, in trying to educate ourselves, we're trying to gain knowledge and improve ourselves, it might be a setback for the whole country, for everyone else also, if we are not trying to do that. And everything that we do as people, we have to make sure that is adding value to ourselves. Sometimes when you see things and you only go in one direction, you only believe in one thing, and that one thing alone, you are shortchanging yourself the possibility of you expanding on your knowledge, or you are losing out. You are shortchanging yourself because you only one way, and that is it. A lot of African countries face this dilemma of one way thing, especially when it comes to religion, when it comes to faith, when it comes to tradition, religion. They only believe one way, and that's it. Nothing else matters. It's just one way. So this gentleman was talking about the northern part of Nigeria, that as people that it's just one way. Let me say this. If you only see what you are seeing, you have not seen all that is meant to be seen. Because there's always a story behind a story. You can't just go on one way, one street, because you are missing out on a lot of things. Especially, like I've said earlier, when it comes to religion and faith and belief. Well, let's take example, like a country like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, everybody goes there for religion purposes, but Saudi Arabia doesn't live on religion. They strive. They have scientists. They have physicists. They have pharmacists. They expound their knowledge in other areas. As much as they do that, they, they still practice their faith. And that's fine. Because they do not just see as a one-way street that is just one way. And some of us in Africa, some of the countries in Africa, it's just one-way street. We only see one way. And that is why it seems to us that we are backward in many things. For example, I've heard so many times in even in Nigeria, I think in the church where pastor is praying and praying about praying the God of Israel, the God of Israel, do this for me and do this for them for that. And you're looking at it like, man, people don't really empower themselves with knowledge and understanding of what actually is going on. When you say the God of Israel, Israel is not, the Jews are not Christian. The Jews are not Christian. Their God is not Jesus that you are calling. It's not, their God is not Jesus. And you are praying in the, to me, I say, out of ignorance, we are praying in the name of God of Israel, God of Jews, and their God is not Jesus. Israel is not just sitting down and praying. Israel is weaponizing himself. They are weaponizing themselves, having tank and missile and warplane and gun and all that to protect themselves. They are taking action. Like we have said so many times on this channel that you cannot use a spiritual thing to solve physical problem. Physical for physical, spiritual for spiritual. But it seems like us, we have mingled everything together in Africa and we are mingling everything together in Nigeria. Now, with this video, we are narrowing into to Nigeria. So this young man is saying, like, there's no way we can, it seems like it's this belief of one-way street, of one way in religion is embedded in the culture. And now it's hard to break. And the culture that is that the belief is, even the country that has that culture, that has that belief, are not believing in that only. They have scientists, they have physicists, they have people they have chemists, they have people that are manufacturing planes and products and all that. But it seems to me sometimes in Africa, we only believe in us just focusing on faith and religion. Even look at even Iran. Iran, they are good in science. Saudi Arabians, they are good in science. They have they are diversifying their economy right now. So the gentleman is saying, we need to start sending our kids to, to schools for us to be able, to have a vibrant future of a country, for our kids and children and the country as a whole to have a future. Because he has come into the realization that it seems like that one-way street and one-way belief is heading into destruction. And that is why, sometimes you sit down and you are looking at Africa and looking at the problem, and it seems like what we believe has, take a big part of what we are doing, and it seems like it's not working. If you look at the rest of the world, that seems not to be very religious as we are, they are striving, they are going higher, they are manufacturing things, and we are going over there to go buy things from them. When people, stay forever in church and or in mosque or in traditional religion, doing the same thing, and the same result keep happening, then we need to sit back and kind of say, we need to change our strategy. We need to change our strategy, because if all what you are saying is what you say, you are missing out on a whole lot of things. You have to have an open mind into other options. Some people don't even believe that there is higher power, but they are still living. I'm just saying that we need to have, kind of open mind in order for us to receive and digest new information, and for us to be able to add value to ourselves. That way we can improve our standard of living, and we will live to the fulfillment of our destiny. But just believing that it's one-way street is not working, and it's making people not living to their full potential. And that is why, if Nigeria has gotten independence since 1960, and we are still crawling, I want you to just watch just a little bit of this clip from this video.
So the hardest thing I've had to accept since I've been here is that Hausas, my tribe, my people, unfortunately are not going to allow Nigeria to become what it's meant to be. The mindset of the northern Nigerians are going to destroy this country. I'm sorry to say it. So this is an idea I had, right? It was very simple. Raise money, build orphanages, massive orphanages, and pick up the Almajiris off the street. Take the Almajiris off the street. Teach them engineering. Teach them tech. Teach them coding. Take them off the streets and teach them, try to get them up to par so they can compete. And I brought up how every time I had this conversation, I would bring up the 4 Indian kids, the 4 Indian boys, like 10-year-old boys that were online, or they were doing the live chat and building an app. Every time I bring up this idea to a northerner, the first thing they ask is, well, what about Islam? What about Qur'ani? What about Islamic school? When I say I have met incredible resistance to the idea of taking these boys off the streets and getting them to join the global age. Like, my mindset is this. Every corner you go in northern Nigeria, there are 5 people willing to teach these boys Islamic school, Quran. There are 10 people willing to teach them everything they need to learn about Islam. I thought up an idea that, look, we need to find a way to raise money, build orphanages, teach these boys tech, teach them engineering, teach them robotics, let them compete with the global populace. And every time I bring this up, every fucking Hausa person I tell this shit to wants to argue with me. They say it's not going to. They are vehemently against this.
Now you've seen what I'm talking about, what the guy is trying to say. Now the guy is not really, condemning his own people. He's not condemning, but he just looked at the whole situation, and he found that he thinks that it's just too difficult, or it's close to impossible to solve the problem what he saw. Okay, so now I was talking earlier about one-way street. Africans spend billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars every year to Saudi Arabia. Africans spend that money, and Saudi Arabia took the money and do whatever and expand their own country, expand their own factory and industry, and improve on science and improve on on other areas, other aspects of life, while Africa just believe in one-way street, which Saudi Arabia believe in many ways. And they divert their economy and they invest in other area of life, and that is why they don't just live by religion alone. Likewise, all other countries that has affiliation with faith or religion. Let's talk about Israel. And Israel is they are the best in healthcare or in agriculture, or they diverse their economy. They do something. They do something. Can we all just try and do something and try something else and don't go on one way street? This is my opinion. Like I've always said, nobody knows it all. And this is just my own opinion that I think we should not just, have one way street, think one way. We should kind of have an open mind to receive more information and for us to add more value to ourselves and to live to our full potential as an African, as a human being. Humanity first. I just use Africa because I'm African. I am African, and I use this as a study case from there. And humanity is what we want. Humanity is one love. No matter what it is for us as human being, as an African, to live to the fullness of our potential, to the fullness of our life, to live absolutely to the fullness of our life. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, if this is your first time again, I would like you to join and also subscribe to this channel. I would like you to share this video. And above all that, I'd like you to comment on this video. I would like to hear your own opinion. Let's solve this, together. Nobody knows everything. Nobody knows it all. And again, don't forget to join me on myzoomspace.com. Myzoomspace.com is where we have live shows sometimes, and we have a question. You can raise your own question. We can discuss. We can, talk one-on-one. Myzoomspace.com. Thank you, and I will see you all in the next video.